need the Joshua and the Josh Ache. Josh.
Joshua Ochre, BARIMAH, na Ghana ne de on Joshua na friend Joe. Two quite no na amrofo Joshua no monti Joe na sinti no mo friend Josh. Enti Josh de aja brantie krukuro bi a on pen ho asem bebre sa. So free abusia we am for abusia mu, you know. Very, very humble background. And whether it's you, it's only you that allow me to come here, and thank you for the privilege, and thank you for your viewers as well and listeners, if that is the case.
All right, thank you so much. And you're the number 100, 100%.
Oh, perfect number then.
100% to be on the LxP show.
Oh, fantastic.
So, today we're coming to talk about your life. We know what you've done for the Ghanaian community and your personal life and what you are into now. So let's come this way. Like, in your life, was it a point in your life that you think that, man, I've had enough. I just wish I couldn't make it to this planet?
No. In fact, as I said, I was born into a very humble home, and a Christian home for that matter.
Rich home?
Christian, not rich. In fact, thankfully, we always have food in the house, but not rich as such. We were brought up with a single mom, divorcee of 5 kids. As you may attest to it, it's a tough situation, especially in the country, Ghana. But she was a godly mother. She never ceased to pray for her children. And as a result of the children becoming prayer children as well. So I think that is what sustained us. So the thought of regretting of being here in this world never crossed my mind now.
Wow. So let's see it this way. It never crossed your mind you should have been, even though you were going through hard time in life and all those
things. We're going through hard time. And as I said, because we were born into a Christian home, I am a Seventh-day Adventist Christian, right? And I trust in God that He will provide whatever the situation may be. So it's not, I'm not saying that we've never gone through a tough time. In fact, we've gone through a really tough time in my life to the point of death, but I was sustained by God. So my hope always built on nothing else, as the hymn goes, but our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So He's the one that carries me through everywhere I go, basically.
So if somebody is going through what you said you've been through, what would be your advice or your take for that person?
I will say, lift up your eyes and look at the cross. Whether you're a Christian or you're not Christian, you have to believe in something. You have to have faith in something. You can't just be a faithless, believeless person on this planet. You have to believe in something. For me, I believe in Jesus Christ. That's my God and my Savior. So when the going get tough, I look up to Him, right? So if someone doesn't have anyone, if you have someone to look up to, fair enough. But if you don't, I recommend Jesus Christ to you. I mean, for me, she is my strength and my sustainer. So I think if He could do it for me, as sinner as I am, He could do it for everyone else as well.
Wow, that's very impressive. And thank you for letting us know that was the point. But have you ever failed in life before?
Oh, gosh.
How did you manage to get away from it? Because you look fresh, man, sir. You look fresh.
In a book of
the money they cry for your pocket.
No, it's not the money. I think it's the grace. It's the grace and the goodness that has followed me, and that is what make me look like this. But it's not about the money. And you're asking about failure. In the book of Proverbs, it says that a righteous man will fall 7 times, but he'll get up again. So it's not a matter of you falling down, but it's a matter of not remaining down there, but get yourself up, pick yourself up, and get going. Start something or put something in your head that you're not going to remain down there. So fall, yes, I felt so many times, in fact, countless times. But here I am today. As I said, I'm not rich, but I'm not poor either.
Yeah, you're in between.
We're striving to get there. We're following your footsteps.
Yeah, we follow you. Okay. All right. So was it a mindset thing? Like, did you have a mindset? Because looking at you from that poor background or maybe average background, and now your level now, was it a mindset? Did you have any special mindset to be who you are?
I had a mindset. As as a young boy growing up in a Old Tafo, mile 4 in the community boat. Old Tafo.
American.
So, what I don't know
American.
which American city that is. You can tell me. But those days it was a little bit
That's
of
Miami, isn't it?
Miami. I held the G. No, I don't think so. Yeah, in those days, young men, young girls around, and the going getting tougher, and in fact, at that time there was not much, drug use and things like that. But I mean, petty stealing and that kind of things, cigarette smoking and alcohol was very prevalent at that time. But thank God we didn't get involved in any of those things, right? And I was told at a very young age, I don't know, this lady, and I think I was sick. And this lady came to my mom. I don't know where she came from, whether my mom friend or no, but she came home, and then as she was talking, she said to my mom that you should take care of me because I will one day will come and take care of her. This is her own ways. So somehow this I heard that I was on a sick bed, but I sank in, and I said, okay, so what is this woman talking about? But then even when I left, those days we used to call it elementary school, Form 4 for that matter. Um, Parents didn't have the money for to put me through to secondary school. I passed late entrance, I passed common entrance, and all to no avail. So it was a tough time. But then I was determined to get somewhere, so I had to go and learn trade. Okay, and through the trade, so many downs and ups and downs. I eventually had to resort to going into training colleges, trying to get somewhere because I believe something else could happen, but for whatever reason, the money was not there, the support was not there. And in Ghana, if you are there and you don't have any family in overseas, there's no foreign remittance coming in. You can imagine how the situation, was at that time. But thankfully, I finished, and I studied. I learned to become a auto body spraying, spraying those cars. And those days, spraying this that time, that's where the Benz bars and the neoplan designs was coming in. So I learned those and I was very good at it. I had my own shop at the New Road SAMMY magazine there, with few boys under me training them. So I had this ambition that I have to get somewhere because there was nothing in the house, and I am the oldest son, right? My mom had 5 kids, 2 girls and 3 boys, and I'm the oldest one. So it was like the whole burden was on my shoulder. I have to get somewhere, otherwise, the whole family will crumble, and I don't know where we're gonna get. So I had to work hard, and eventually, I think the hard work paid off.
Wow, that's pretty good though. So did you have like a mindset of you becoming somebody great, like success when it comes to success or when it comes to opportunity, or did you have a rich uncle who came in and in the long run sort things out for you?
No, no. there was no rich uncle, and there was no, as I said, there was no help from anywhere. Me traveling was by it was a fluke, accident, if you want to call it like that, because I worked, I saved a bit of money through my auto body spraying business, and my mom at that time, she was a trader, and her friend, this opportunity opened up for me to travel, and both of them chip in to help me. Right. I had to go to Libya, as you probably know already. So it was a tough journey. We were going to fly, the plan changed, and we had to go by road. So we were desert kings as well. So we had to travel through the desert to Libya. And then from Libya, we carried on from there to Egypt, and from Egypt, Philippines. In fact, a couple of stopovers from Thailand, and then Tokyo to Philippines. Spent some time in Philippines, and through down to Solomon Island to Nauru down to Solomon Island, back again to Australia, and eventually settled down here.
Wow.
So it wasn't that easy. And as I said, there was no finance coming from anywhere. So the little that I got, in fact, I was among 37 people that was dumped in the middle of the Sahara Desert, that we were left there to die. And I was, not I, but we were there for about 21 days. We were rescued on the 21st day, and it was tough. This is something I don't normally talk about, but eventually we were rescued, and we were going upward to Libya, and this rescue was going back to Niger, but we didn't have any choice. So we had to get back into the car and went back to Niger. In fact, I was sick for almost 2 weeks in Niger, and eventually, God's grace, someone, an angel came and helped me. At that time, I didn't have anything with me, not a single cent with me. So an angel from Brekum, and I'll be forever indebted to that guy. In fact, I think there were two brothers. They came and heard the story, and then they came to me. They spoke to me, and they were also going to travel the same journey. So eventually, one of them came to me one afternoon and said, "George, how you feeling?" I said, pretty much okay. And he said, "So what is your plan now? Are you going back to Ghana, or you going forward?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, because I don't have money to go back, and I don't have money to go forward." And then he said, "So if you have the money, what choice would you choose, going forward or backward?" So I said, "Well, if I have the money, then I'll go forward. I'd rather go forward, because I spent all my money down here. Somehow the money got lost, and that is a different story. So I'd rather go forward." And this guy said, "Okay, if that is the case, we will sponsor your trip to Libya." Just like that.
Wow.
So himself and the brother sponsored me from Niger back when we got to Libya, and they were going to different town, and I was going to Sepa, which was the Gaddafi's hometown, and that is where we split with those guys. So it hasn't been that easy.
Yeah, but the reason why I like to ask my guests these questions is, most young people out there, they go through a little bit, they think they've had enough, like, I don't think I can do it, then they just give up. But your story has really inspired others, and even me, for knowing that you don't need to give up until you get to where you're going.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing. It's
Not so good.
All right, so let's come here. Were you, like, in your life, do you have a mentor? So we can also learn from our mentors. Who is your mentor?
I never had mentor in my life. In fact, my current business, I have mentor. Because it's a compliance, it's for a compliance purpose. I have a mentor now in my new business. But no, as I said, for whatever reason, I haven't been able to rely on human beings. I had a very, very close friends, um, but things happened, and either that person somehow disappeared from your life, or something, things fall apart between the two of you. So I chose not to rely on human being. I will have a good friends, but then, as I said earlier on, I don't look up to them. I look up to only Jesus Christ. My God is only one. So if there is anyone that I look up to, if someone that is my mentor, no, I don't have a specific person, a human being person that I can point to as this is the person I've been looking at. But I've read few people's, I've listened to few motivational speakers. I've watched, few movies and some clips that encourages, sometimes you wish you could be like them, but you pick up a little bit here and there and just add it to the little that you got and just move on with it, basically.
Wow, that's impressive. Jesus is your mentor. All right, let's come, as you were talking about motivational speakers and books. So do you have any books that you want to recommend for us, like at least 3 books that you think, apart from the Bible,
Well, I'll recommend the Bible because you can't keep that aside.
Yeah, but I said apart from the Bible. So we know the
know.
Bible is number 1 for you, but you take the Bible up. Let's give us another 3.
Look, I must be honest with you. When I got, because of the nature of living in Ghana, I didn't read much book in Ghana until I, traveled, and I traveled to, Arab world. So there was no book for me to read until I arrived in Australia. And when I arrived in Australia, I decided to study. I worked full time and studying part time as well. When I get to uni, I was working and driving taxi at night, and working full time in the morning, driving taxi at night, and then studying as well. I did electronics. I did advanced. At that time, I was advanced certificate in associate certificate or whatever that they call it in electronics. So at that time, that is where I pick up reading, because I left all my reading behind after I finished my Form 4 education. I dropped it off, but I was also privileged at that time, even though I wasn't reading much of the books in Ghana, because of the church. And I'm sure people that know probably Seventh-day Adventists, we have a lady who wrote hundreds of books, if not thousands. And this lady, Mrs. Ellen G. White, I was privileged to have some of her book, Step to Christ and the Great Controversies, which I read those books at that time. So pretty much that is what I read back in Ghana. But here, when I came in and I started reading the electronics, I got into, interested in electronic and the computer systems. And the very interesting thing is, when I came to Australia, I didn't know the thing that they call keyboard. Right, and a mouse, and I was gonna, study electronics. And we went to a classroom, and the first time the teacher or the trainer, Michael, came in and give us probably, introductory welcoming and the orientation and everything. And then he gave us a tiny assignment to do, fill up this on, and everything was on the computer. And I'm talking about, 1993, 94, thereabout. And everyone started, doing things, and then I sit in front of a computer and I didn't know what to do with that because I've never touched keyboard, I've never touched computer, I have no idea what I was doing, right? But then the interesting thing is, before they enrolled me, I saw a career advisor in a college there, and then after interview and some examinations, he said, Josh, I think you can do electronics and it's got a future, because you can branch after you finish this advanced certificate. You can branch to do your diploma in computer science, or you can do radio communication, and a mobile networking on that side. So it's got the future. So I took his advice and went in, but then it was tough because I had nothing, I have never done anything. I don't know anything about this electronic stuff. But eventually I gathered the courage and asked Michael, the trainer. I said, look, Michael, I need your help. And that's where, in the break time. And he said, what? And I said, well, you gave us this to do, but I've never used computer before. So I don't know what to do. And so, is that so? And I said, yeah. So don't worry. Okay, I'll help you to do it. Okay. And I said, what happens? Then he went and grabbed a book about that thick and gave me that book. So you asking me about books that I read? He gave me that thick book and he said, start reading this book. Okay. And once you get halfway through, you have to find money to buy a computer. Okay. And then he said, what I will also do for you every evening, we start the classes 5 o'clock, get here 4:30. I will give you introductory training on computer half an hour before classes starts. As
Wow.
long as you can do that, we'll do it. And I said, okay. So I took so that is when my book reading started. So when I started reading the computer and then I started reading the electronics books, so many different electronic components, that is when my reading skills sort of started, building up again.
Yeah.
And then I branched to other books. In fact, I've read few, and then as you said, I've read a few Mrs. White books, right? If I'm talking now, sorry, just want to sneeze. If I'm talking now and
Mm.
you're asking me to recommend a book, one book from that lady that I will recommend to anybody is The Messages to Your Young People. I'm not sure if you read that, and I'm not sure if anybody read that.
Messages to the young people. Okay.
Messages to the Young People by Ellen G. White.
Mm.
And so, Jay, the sneeze come in and just disappear.
All right. This doesn't want to be on social media.
Yeah. So if you
All right.
if
All right.
you
You can take like second and sneeze that you come back.
yeah, no, it won't come. That's all that
All right.
sometimes
All
happen.
right.
And it will eventually come, so don't worry.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
As far as you're
Anyway.
sneezing in your house, that's fine.
Oh yeah, but I haven't gone anywhere. I've quarantined myself for the last 6 months. So I don't think there's anything wrong with
2020
me.
citizen is like, a crime.
Yeah, well, that is the way we live in now, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't even hold somebody's arm. It's a crime.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
life goes on, brother.
all
Anyway,
right, so
so
message to the
yeah, I
young
was saying
people
if you
and
correct
don't
messages to
let
the
you.
young people, and if you haven't read that, please um, try and get your hands on it. It's very easy to find anywhere in SDA conferences, and you ask them, they will get that book for you. And the good thing is, doesn't matter how old you are, you read that book, it keep you younger.
Wow, that's why
Right?
you're looking younger
That
than.
is well,
We know your
seriously,
secret
yeah, I
now.
recommend. Yeah, so that is one book that I recommend. As I said, I've read a few books, and I've read. Um, there's this man called I think it's a Will Delmont. Yeah, he's an author of so many books, but he compiled most of the books together, and they call it the greatest minds and ideas of all time. Will Derrimont, Will Dermont, the greatest ideas, the greatest minds and ideas of all time. Find that book. It's a treasure trove. It talks about so many great people. It talks about so many important dates in the world history. It talks about so many philosophers that you can think of. But the important thing is there are a couple of great people in his compilation that are from Africa, right? And I had to chase and find these people, right? One of these guys was Dr. Monty Jones. He's from Sierra Leone, and he's a genetic scientist. He modified rice to feed Africa, and that is the rice that you grow, and like uh, the yield is unbelievable, right? His name appeared in his book, and then there was this guy, Philip Ngwe Gali, Emeagwali. I'm just struggling with the same name as well. Philip, Emeagwali. They call it the father of internet. In fact, I got to know this guy because I was studying electronics, and I switched into the computer science. So I got to study a little bit of him. But then I heard his name, and I didn't take interest at that time. But when I get to know him, and I read about how he became
Is
the
that
father,
the book? Is that the
that
book?
is the one.
All right, guys, you're looking at the book, so you can grab yourself a copy.
It is a very old book, but I will recommend to every African young minds to have a look at this book. You can get the electronic copy, and it's, I think, I bought it for those days. I think it was about $40, but today it will probably be cheaper now. But it talks about so many people and their achievements, and this is where I pick up, you want to be one of them. I couldn't point exactly who I want to be, but I pick up a little from here, a little bit from this person, a little bit from this person, a little bit from this person. And if I was going to be anybody, because I was studying in a computer science, and I was in an electronic industry, then Philip Imwali will be the one that I wanted to be. So I studied him, how he left, Nigeria. He's Nigerian, in a Biafra war, I think, and his parents left at the age of 14. They came to US, and he studied, and then eventually he got into this. He also studied someone that it got him to, interested in calculating these mathematical equations to bring all computers around the world together to be able to forecast the weather, right? And this is where the internet thing came in. So I got to read him. I got to read others, philosophers and things like that. But I'll recommend that to you. I will recommend that Ellen G. White book to you. And I'll probably say I'll stick to that. And my Bible, I will study individuals. Now I'm studying individuals, right, from this book, Confucius and all those people. I'm studying them. I read them. I'm not studying, forgive me for that, but I read about them, right? I pick and choose and read them and see if I hear something or I come across something interesting, then I'll go and reference, to them and have a look. So that is how I'm building myself up over a period of time. But since I was in the computer industry, I read an amount of, electronic books and the computer books. You name them, everything that the Microsoft will bring up there, I've got it. So
all right, so we got the white book here. This is the book you're talking about.
Correct. So I think the publisher has got a couple of versions there, but pretty much the cover one, you could have a brownish sort of maroon color, and some of them is like the content are the same. Content are the same. So it is beautiful book, and as I said, I read this one. I started it, because in Ghana, you don't have the whole book to yourself. So you borrow it, you write a chapter or a page, and then you return it back to where you took it. But then when I travel, I got here in Australia, then I eventually get a copy myself. That's correct. That is the one I have now here. And everything is also available in Ellen White Estate as well. You can read everything online for free. You can download it. Yeah, you can download the app also on your phone, Android or Mac. The iPhone version, and then and read it from there. So right. I recommend it, and I recommend the great minds and the ideas. And mind you, I bought the audio for Rich Dad and the Poor Dad as well.
Rich Dad.
I listened to that one when it came out first time years back, and I listened to the whole DVD in a car when I'm driving. It was a very good thing to listen to.
Wow, good. All right, so now we gotta go to investment, financial investment.
Yeah.
As young people, you've set up our mind to know what we want now. Now we want financial investment. We just wanna know, as young person, when you're in Ghana, or still most people in Ghana, when we get the money, we don't even know where to go with it. We just wanna blow it. And those in Australia here too, when we buy a house, we think that's the end of the story. is there any a simple advice you want to give us, like 3 steps that you think we need to go through and become somebody like you or better than you?
Yes, so many better than me. No. Look, when it comes to investments, mostly it depends where you are, basically. I got to learn more about money and finance, even though, as I said, if you listen to Rich Dad and Poor Dad, or you read that book, one thing I learned from it, and that is the first thing that I'll probably recommend to anyone else, is if you're a parent and you have kids that are growing up, you need to talk to them about money. You see, I never been taught. No one taught me. My mom, my dad, no one sat me down and said, Josh, this is money and this is what you do with money. And all that I know as I was growing up is money have wings. So if you don't hold it at no firm, it will just fly away. And yes, it did fly so many times. I did fly away so many times, and you learn from your mistakes. So first thing that I will say is, if you are a parent, try and teach your kids, talk to them about money, how to keep money, how to respect money, how to earn money. And I say respect because it's one thing that I've learned in life. In Africa especially, yes, yes, Robert Kiyosaki, beautiful. You'll get the audio and you'll enjoy it as well. Yeah, you drive it and have it on your phone, MP3 version, and you can enjoy it. We especially Africa and Ghana in particular, we don't respect money. And I'm saying this because probably we don't see the value of money. Here, I was walking behind someone who saw 5 cents on the ground. Seriously, I've walked past 5 cents so many times, even sometimes 10 cents, and I won't pick it up, right? But this man will pick up the 5 cents and then put them in the pocket, right? And when he did that, and since then I've been picking up. When he did that, I was just following. In fact, I was tempted to ask him why, right? Because 5 cents. In fact, the Australian Mint, they want to remove the 5 cents from the Australian, currency altogether. So why would you pick 5 cents? But then, come to think of it, if you pick up 5 cents, if you will pick 50 cents, or you will pick $1, how many 5 cents you can pick on the floor to make that $1? Right. So why do you pick $1? Why you pick 50 cents, but you don't pick? We don't pick the 5 cents, because if you pick up 5 cents multiple times, you will get a 50 cents, and if you pick up more times, you get $1. Right. So we see that it's a 5 cent. Doesn't matter. Ghana, same thing. If you give someone 1 cedi, or you give someone 5 cedis, and sometimes right in front of you, that person will just count the money and then just like stare at you as if like, what is this?
Yeah.
Maybe expecting you to give, exactly, expecting you to give millions of Ghana cedis or something like that. But maybe the 1 cedi, 2 cedi, 5 cedi probably it doesn't worth. But then if you get 1 cedi, 2 cedi many times a day from multiple people, it adds up. Right.
And even just let me come in, and even sometimes if you give them like the 5 cedi in front of you, they will buy yogurt.
There you go. Right, there you go. Well, sometimes, I mean, even if they buy yogurt, maybe, I don't know, he'll go something there. Or maybe that is something that he felt like, oh, this thing I haven't tried before. So now that I've got money, let me try it. All right. So sometimes you don't blame, but
they blow the money straight away.
Straight away. We should learn to appreciate money. We should learn to respect money. Right. let me say this, my brothers and sisters, young ones in Ghana, there is no money that we use to buy property, and there's no separate money to buy food, and there's no different money to pay electricity bill. It's the same money that we use to buy the electricity, it's the same money we use to buy food, same money you can use to buy fuel, you can use the same money to buy property, right? So when, especially those who are privileged to have relatives overseas that are remitting some foreign money to them every now and then, let them learn to respect that money and use that money wisely. And I'm saying this because I've seen situations that, you know, you give 20 million, which is 2,000 Ghana, to someone in Christmas time, and 2 weeks later, that person send you a snapshot of electricity bill. Oh, brah, my electricity bill has been accumulating in the past few months, and now they cut my electricity supply. So please help me to pay for it, right? So you took $2,000. This electricity bill was 11, not $2,000, 2,000 Ghana. This electricity bill over 6 or 7 months period has been accumulating, right? And it's, I think, was just under 11 million, which is 1,100. So the 20 million that you took Christmas could have paid at least half of that.
Yeah.
Okay. But as you mentioned, that money will be blown away just like that. And 2 weeks later, they'll come to you and ask you for another money to pay the electricity bill. Right. Why? Because you gave that money for Christmas. So it is for Christmas. But if you can use that money to pay your electricity bill, or maybe invest in a farming, just buy, you know, a small land, or sometimes you can even rent a land and grow some, you know, cashew nuts or something, or even just some vegetables on it. With 20 million, I know it's not big money, but in Ghana, sometimes it could go a very long way, right? So we have to understand how to manage the a little that we have. You know, every single drop counts when it comes to money. That we have to learn in that in Ghana. And two, investing. You know, you mentioned about, especially here, we have a great Aussie dream in Australia, and the great Aussie dream is buy a house, have a piece of debt in Australia. That's all it is, right? So you pay, you know, 400,000, maybe just for the piece of debt, and then you have to spend maybe $200,000-300,000 to build I don't know, single or double story house on it. So you have a decent house anywhere from, you know, $550,000-600,000 just to buy a piece of, you know, debt and the house, just to, you know, for you and your family. But once you get yourself, and probably that will be the biggest investment that you ever made in your life, because even if you're going to buy shares or any other investment, you probably will never spend $500,000 to buy shares. So buying the property is very important. That would be the biggest investment you will ever made, maybe, but that doesn't end there. Okay, there are so many other ways that you can also get investment property through your owner occupied home that you live in, right? So the only thing you have to do, you know, excuse me, there are bank mortgage facilities that you can acquire, like if you be able to withdraw cash from your mortgage accounts, if you can do additional repayments, right? And also if you can have an offset account. So what the offset accounts is, maybe you work and you have some savings, maybe $15,000-$20,000 savings for emergency, right? And then you have another account which your mortgage is repayment come from it. If you have an offset account, 20,000 here, and you have a $500,000 mortgage, right? That when they're calculating, as you know, that they calculate the interest daily, right? So when they're calculating the interest, because you link your offset account, which is your savings account, to your loan account, they won't calculate it over 500,000, but they only calculate it 480,000 because you have a 20,000 linked to it. And the 20,000 a day, that when what is interest rate is calculated, you know how much you save. So at the end of the month, you save a little bit more money there. So you can have all this facility to help you put extra money into your mortgage, right? And maybe in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, God willing, you may you acquire or accumulate a little bit of equity in your mortgage. And once you get that equity, you can refinance your current mortgage and buy investment property. And that investment property could be just an apartment, or maybe a unit block or a flat or any house that the finance will probably be enough to service the loan for you, right? So you work out with a mortgage broker, you look at the serviceability, and then be able to find you someone or any lender who'll be able to lend you the money to buy an investment property. And there is something called negative gearing here, especially in Australia. So there are so many taxes that you can get back through your investment property. If you have an owner-occupied home that you're living in, you can negatively geared, towards the expenses and get some money from the government. But if you have the investment, then you should be able to do that. So I will also recommend that apart from one, respecting money, two, you have to also think about if you get your first home, of course, you need to get first home. There are young ones, especially those who were born here or came to this country, in a very young age. Their parents have already bought the family homes for them. So if you are living with your parents, then you have opportunity from 18. Once you start working, going, you can get an investment property before you even buy your own owner-occupied home and live in. So think about investment as something that it sets you for life, if you like. So you invest in that. You can also invest in your superannuation. It is important. My superannuation, my investment, and my retirement package, everything is in Ghana now. Right. That is where I'm setting myself up. I want to retire early. Yeah, I want to retire early, and I want to go early and get, so I'm just getting things ready over there. So yeah, for investment, these are the options available.
That's the Sikafono.
No, what was it? American, no, Ghana, no, you don't need that much money to be able to invest in, property. And the good thing is, you can get yourself 2-3 bedroom, 4 bedroom house in Ghana at very reasonable cost, and there won't be any mortgage against it. You own it outright, right? And if you are lucky enough to put a couple of solar panels in there to support you, and you got your water drill, electricity rate is gone, or maybe halved. Water rate is that completely disappear because you have your borehole water in the house there. So you live there, you live in your own home. The expenses there is very, very minimum, right? So if you are old person like me and you retire at that age, you live comfortably. You not going and slack around and doing, like some doing, but be focused, get yourself some business, and try as much as you can to help, the locals, create employment for others, which I am doing now. I'm working on some farms in Ghana, and people are doing a great job for me over there. And we're hiring people every now and then. We pay them, and they get them do what they need to do, and it has to be done. So that is one thing.
Okay, so yeah, you've been on LxP show, and thank you so much for giving us a deep insight about savings and all that stuff. I just posted a photo of a group of young people, like Africans. And the title is, "We Africans as young people, we find it easy to come together and put money together to buy drinks and get drunk than coming together for business." So your field, what would be your advice for young people like that? We can come together and do party, but we don't talk about business.
Yeah, as you know, there's a favorite quote that great minds discuss ideas.
Yeah.
Average minds
Discuss
events, and the small minds
talk about people.
Discuss what? Talk about people, right? Which one of the groups you want to be in? Okay, and that is what it is. Look, as you're saying, I know that a group of young men here in Sydney have put themselves 2 or 3. They started with 2 or 3 people. They want to get involved in a real estate. In fact, they want to amass wealth through buying block of lands in Ghana. All right, so they do that, and I think at the moment, if I'm not wrong, probably there'll be about 6 or 7 of them now. Okay, they're doing it, and these are the young ones. They started, they finished uni just about 2-3 years ago, and then they started working, right? And they are thinking of this. As you've seen, so many of these young ladies and men from around the world going back and invest somehow in Ghana, and some are investing here as well in Australia. So if a group of young men and women in Ghana are putting themselves together and getting involved in fun, as they call it, fun, they're risking their lives, and they have to they need to find an adult, someone who they can listen to. It's unfortunate that what you see in Ghana social medias, and I say it's unfortunate because it's just becoming a little bit too overboard now. What you see in the social media is all about, promiscuous marriages, and it's about music, it's about entertainment, but there's not much about business. There's not much about directing the kids to take up a specific mindset. As you know, and I know, that the problem we have in our nation there, Ghana, is a change of mindset. That's what we need there, right? And from these kids, they listen to radio. When they go to listen to a radio and listen to a politician, all that they hear is an insult, right? And then they go to the social media and they go and listen there. All that they see is young lady twerking, okay, or snatching, husband snatches and all that kind of thing.
Papa no, papa no.
I don't want to go there. Yeah. So, what do you think these young men will learn from this?
Yeah.
So I pity for them. As I said, when we were growing up, we had our own challenges, but these kind of challenges were not there. People were very respectful. And who dare you? Who born you by mistake? Say, radio, especially president. But and then high school student, it will deep president at him, even though the president is feeding you, clothing you, and paying your school fees, yet you could at him, and you go scot-free. This will not happen, right? And say changes our mindset, na yam panifona sabi yadi animu no yam fa and maybe an shabi and to so to help these young people. They will always go wayward, just like we see today. But the opportunity is there for them. They are brilliant. When you talk to them one-on-one, they are brilliant people. They're not stupid, but they just want direction, and the direction is not coming from anywhere. So I'm glad you're doing this. God bless you for that. I think if they watch you, many people that you're interviewing, if they adhere to what they will learn from your programs, it will help them. It will help them, create a very beautiful path for them for future. Whether you invest in property, whether you want to be entrepreneur, set up your own, business, anything that you want to do. If you want to be academia, you can do it. You just have to have the good mindset, and you have to read right books. You have to read right people. You have to listen to right people. Don't spend your time talking people. Don't spend your time. If you like, you can spend a little bit time, talking event. It's all good. I mean, you can't be bored in life, right? But spend time with people who talk ideas, and that is where the great minds come from.
All right, thank you so much for being on LxP show, Uncle Josh. And thank you for the insight. I never knew that the same money you spend on bills is the same money you use to pay your rent. You know, sometimes you have this mind that there will be a big chunk of money coming in. So you'll be waiting and waiting and waiting.
No, it's that small money. As I said, that every single drop counts, right? So if you know you have bills to pay, it's just every month, every week, the money comes in. You pay all these bits and pieces. You put a little bit somewhere. So when they call you home, you get something to give to them. And when they receive it, it's an income to them. So they also have to use it wisely, just as you are using one, you also wisely here to be able to save and send some to them. So that is what it is. It's the same thing.
All right. So if somebody is in Australia and they want to get in touch with you, what would be the contact details and how do they get in touch with you?
Now, let me go there. Then I'll give you the email address. I worked in the IT industry from 1995 to 2006.
Yep.
2006, I was working for company. And from 2006 up to now, I set up my own business, right? I had a business partner, an Indian, and then we've been working together since. But in the last couple of years, as I was growing older, I think IT was for a bit more like, the young ones. So I was looking for something that I can do even when I'm 70 years old. And then I found that in finance, you can do as long as you want to go. So I chose to study finance and became a mortgage broker, accredited with 33 lenders, different lenders in Australia here. So, we have all the compliance, and I purchased a franchise, which is MoneyQuest Springvale, which is the suburb. So I'm just making the transition slowly coming up from the IT, and eventually, whether you sell the IT or give it away or whatever, and then take on the franchise business full time. So I got a couple of guys at the moment taking care of the IT side for me, and I'm working probably 80% on the finance business. So if you want to get involved in investing in property here in Australia and you're looking for a loan, whether it's a car loan, it's equipment loan for your business, especially if you run your own business like I am, small business. Sometimes it's tough to get loans because your finances normally are not up to scratch. So you get knocked back a few times from major conforming banks. We deal with non-conforming lenders as well that will be able to help you. So if you run your own business, small business, and you're facing difficulty getting some loan, whether owner-occupier home or investment home, car loan, debt consolidation home loan, we also are here to support. I'll be able to help you. The business number is 0490147894. 0490147894. And email address is josh.barimah@moneyquest.com.au. josh.barimah@moneyquest.com.au. Thank you.
Right. All right. So thank you so much. And before you leave, do you have any message for the young people, like, in 2 minutes, what will be your last message to our viewers and our listeners?
Well, my message to young ones, if you are listening, if you are watching this this evening in Australia and maybe morning in Ghana or wherever you may be, a simple message to you is this: first, respect yourself. Okay, respect yourself, and that will lead you to respect others. Okay, if you respect yourself and you respect others, everyone you come in contact with, whether just a common peer or your business, partner or a workmate or a spouse or girlfriend or whoever that you come in contact with, that person also will respect you back. And if that happens, if that person have ideas, if they have money, if they have anything, they will give it to you. Right. But if you just do that kind of things, your shoulders up all the time, and you have your autofista right down, don't dress decently, and you don't talk nicely, and you don't do things respectfully, you lose a lot of opportunities. And I learned that a hard way. So please take it from me. Make sure you respect yourself, and that will lead you to respect others. And then in turn, others will respect you, and everything will fall into place for you.
All right. Thank you so much, Uncle Josh. But you said the autofista and other things. Nowadays we says you don't judge book by its cover, isn't it? Or you don't judge appearance.
No. That, you see, we said that, and I agree with that 100%. But I've never seen any Ghanaian guy here that wear autofista, right, during the normal, casual hours, and when they're going to a job interview, they wear the same thing. Why? That tells you there's something wrong with it.
All okay. Right.
If you will wear that to go for job interview, then I'll probably say, well, that's all you've got. So that's fair enough. I'll be okay with it. I've interviewed so many, as I said, I've run my own business, and we employ so many people so many times, all walks of lives. As you know, here Australia is a United Nation of Australia, right? So you come in contact and deal with so many different culture, different nationalities, and you see, and especially these days, Facebook. If you come to me for a job, and then I take your details, I take your resume, your CV, and then read through. I will ask you for your, social media outlets, addresses, and then you go there and see things over there. Straight away, I just turn me off, right? And so many people are being turned away on interviews because of their behavior on social media. So what I'm trying to say is, if you respect yourself, in turns you respect others, and others also respect you. And when you are getting involved in this social media, please let that respect flow there, because employees are suffering from employers because of what they put in the social media. You don't know, and normally they don't tell you.
So this is a big secret to know, though. This is a very big secret.
It's a good question that you brought that up, but it's very, very important that whatever you put on the social media, if you got a very sophisticated, waist, and you can twerk well, please be careful, because that twerking, you may have to do that for the rest of your life for food, because you may not get employed anywhere else by doing that. And I'm serious on that, because so many employers are looking at that kind of, behavior, and they won't tell you because of the prejudice and that kind of thing. They don't want to be known as, discriminating against or anything like that. All that they will tell you is, sorry, the position has been given to someone else. As simple as that. Maybe the next day you'll see that the position has been advertised again. So, right. But then you can go and challenge them. You can go and challenge them that you told me the position has been, given. How come you advertise it again? That is my business. I gave it to someone yesterday, and that person called me today and said, sorry, I don't want it. And I advertise it again. It's my own choice. So please, young one, the social media is there for your benefit, for my benefit, for everybody's benefit. Especially in a COVID-19 situation, online businesses are booming. And if you have internet on your phone or on your laptop in Ghana, and you're a young man, there are so many opportunities there. Get yourself in the web designing. Look, businesses, the IT business we run in here, we gave web designing. I would say our clients that we design websites for them, about 70% are done in India, right? Yeah. Because it's much cheaper than to do it on the Australian here. Mm-hmm. If you're a young one in Ghana and you get your hands on a laptop and you can use a Wix.com to learn how to design a website, learn about the nitty-gritty of the whole, technology, you'll be able to get jobs from overseas. You sit in Ghana with your laptop, and we'll be able to pass you some jobs, some information, and get the job done easily. So use it to your advantage rather than wasting the time. Time is precious.
All right, time is precious. Thank you so much, Uncle George. And Uncle Josh, and thank you for being on LxP show. You are the number 100 person to be on the LxP show. Thank you so much, and God bless.
That is the lucky number, so I'll probably be living. I'll live to 100
Amen,
years old.
amen. We pray for that. We pray for that.
I'll score $100 million in the next few weeks, hopefully.
Amen, amen.
And
I need only 20%. That's fine.
We'll be in half. Don't worry.
All right. Thank you so much for being on the LxP show, and God bless you so much for sharing your ideas and insight with us, especially the youth out there. And you, thank you for watching, and God bless you. And we're gonna let you go. So thank you. Do you have any request or any goodbye to anyone?
No. Well, let me say thank you to you because it is a privilege. I'm very honored to be able to come on your program, and also thanks to your viewers that has been watching or listening to you wherever they may be. God bless you all. God bless my wife Cindy and my 2 children here, Liam and Evangeline. So, and yeah, bless you everyone, and have a wonderful day and or night, whatever the hour you can be in that time. Yes. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you so much for being with us, the LxP show. You know, the #1 show in the world, and we're streaming you live from Facebook and YouTube, from Zoom, all the way everywhere in Maui. LxP show is coming to you live, and we're working towards it to bring it to you in your desktops all the time, all the time. You know, there are 3 books that he wants us to read. I'm just going to let you know what books he's talking about. One is a message to young people, and it's from Ellen G. White. So you check it out, get a copy, and we take it from there. Then the second book is about the third book. This is the third book. I will show you the third book. Let me show you the second book here, which is The Greatest Mind and Ideas. So that's the second book you need to get. Get the second book, The Greatest Minds and Ideas of All Times. You know, these are one of the greatest things you need to know all the time, because sometimes we need to learn from people who have made it, and that's what makes us unique. Then the last book is this one here, The Rich Mind and Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This from Robert Kiyosaki is one of the greatest books that I've always recommend for you, and when it comes to finance. So you read the book and get a great ideas about it. Thank you so much for watching. And whenever you say your prayer, remember, you say one for me and my family, and you say one for yourself too. Remember, life is all about you. There's greatness planted inside you. And don't forget to pursue your vision with a mission and we join with an action. And go to the kingdom of riches, a place where good health, happiness, love, success, prosperity, peace of mind, and the whole wealth of money shall follow you for the rest of your life. You are in this world for a purpose. And guess what? You are unique and extraordinary. Thank you, and God bless you.